I'm hopeful to get through this video without the vacuum upstairs interrupting again like it did in my Christmas video. But welcome back to my channel, you guys. I am very excited to be here today because I have a story for you. Today's story time is going to be about why I hate the ocean and why it hates me back. So I know this is a really random story time, but I promise you it's worthwhile because I've told many people this story and they all told me that you need to put it on your channel because it's the funniest thing that they've ever heard. I don't think it's funny, I think it's traumatic, but I'm going to tell you guys the story anyways. So my last video got me thinking about the ocean because I was talking about Denmark, and for some reason I was reminded of probably the worst ocean experience I've ever had in my entire life. But I have to break it down for you, so I'm going to start like way back. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I am going to California with my parents in April, and everybody's been asking me, oh my gosh, are you going to go to the beach? Are you going to get in the water? I love the ocean, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. And they don't understand. But when I'm done explaining this to you, I promise you, you'll understand my pain. Where did it all begin? So I think my first ocean experience was in Mexico, and I've always been afraid of boats, but I specifically remember we were going to an island and we had to get on a ferry, and I was already terrified of boats, so this was kind of, a moment for me. So we got on this ferry and everything was fine. Nothing bad happened on the ferry, and I was like, you know what, Christina, you are just overreacting for no reason at all. So we get all the way to the island, we have this great time, and a couple days later we go and swim with dolphins. No, that's not the bad part. The dolphin experience was great. We have pictures. It was so much fun. I loved it. However, I'm having war flashbacks right now. So my dad likes to go into the ocean with his glasses on, but you know how you can buy those they suction cup onto the back of your glasses so they don't fall off whenever you're doing stuff. So my dad didn't have those. And we were all out in the ocean and we were having a great time and all that, and then my dad goes, oh my gosh, I lost my prescription glasses. And they're sunglasses with prescription in them. What he makes us do is try to search for these glasses. So he goes, Christina, go get your goggles and we're gonna search the ocean floor for my sunglasses. And I did this for about a solid hour, okay? And that wasn't even the bad part. I was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna find the sunglasses, whatever, right? So I'm looking for these sunglasses, and it's been about an hour into it, and I'm about to tell my dad, seriously, we are not gonna find these glasses. It's a lost cause. We just stop. I'm not gonna keep searching the ocean for them. They're gone. So right before I'm about to say this, I find the glasses, and I am thrilled, excited. I see them, they're right in front of me. I was like, thank God I don't have to keep looking for these glasses, right? As I'm reaching for the glasses, I noticed something that I feel like shouldn't have happened to me. So I'm noticing fish, legit, of course, fish from the ocean right in front of my face, we're like this. And I'm literally bubble in my mouth, huge goggles on, oh my God. So I was like, okay, fish, let me just grab the glass. I'm just gonna go around you, blah, blah. And then the fish starts swimming towards me. Okay, so it starts swimming toward me and I start to freak out. I have my dad's glasses in my hand and I am running as fast as I can back into onto the sand. I swear to God, I am not exaggerating this, you guys. These fish started nibbling at my heels and I was shrieking on the beach in Mexico because these fish were nibbling at my feet because they thought I was a snack, and I was in tears, had glasses, it was really traumatic for me. I don't think that fish are supposed to bite you. We're supposed to eat fish. Fish are not supposed to eat meat, okay? That was the first story. The second story was when we went to Florida. So I have 3 different Florida stories, and they all end in disaster when it comes to the ocean. So the first one was my very first Florida experience, and my dad and I decided, oh, we should go get a jet ski. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. I hate the ocean, but I'm on a thing that's it's not a boat, so it's not the whole thing can sink and suck me under. It's really small, So we're really excited. We go to this place and we rent a jet ski, and they're explaining to us, like, you know, seaweed will get stuck in the engine or whatever, so you're gonna have to hop out if it starts to slow down and pull the seaweed out. And I was like, okay, no big deal. It's not that big of a deal. And they gave us a waterproof bag with like where we could keep our wallet and our cell phone or whatever, and then a rape whistle. And I don't know why they gave us a rape whistle, but he described it as it's really loud, so if you get stranded somewhere, people can come find you. We were on the jet ski and we're going out, and it's a really good time, and we have to keep hopping out in order to take the seaweed out of the engine. So my dad constantly keeps doing that because, you know, he's the man, he's gonna do whatever. And when he's hopping out and taking the seaweed out, we just like keep recognizing that we have to constantly keep doing it, which is really weird. So we're having a blast, whatever, and we're going around the islands, and finally we start to get really frustrated at the fact that like the jet ski is slowing down and we are constantly having to take seaweed out of it. Well, my dad gets off for the last time to start taking it out, and as soon as he takes it out, he tries to hop back onto the jet ski, and it's not working. Like every time he tries to hop on and I'm on there, it would like tip up and start to sink down a little bit. My dad tells me that I have to hop off of the jet ski because it's doing this, and I'm already like terrified of the ocean. Like we're out in the middle of nowhere, I don't see any boats, we're like near a small little island type thing, and I'm terrified, but I'm like, okay, well, it's better than being stranded. So I hop out and I have a life jacket on, and I am literally like knees to chest like this, floating in my life jacket because I'm terrified that either fish are gonna nibble on my toes or shark is gonna eat me. My dad gets back on the jet ski and I have to now climb on. So I'm already like, oh my God, we're gonna die. We're in the middle of nowhere. Our rape whistle is not gonna help us. So I hop back onto the jet ski and it's fine. So on our way back, our 10-minute like jet ski drive back, it's supposed to be 10 minutes, but our jet ski is like broken and it's sinking, so it's like a half an hour. And by the time we got back to the docks, I kid you not, like our butts were like in the water like this, like it was sinking. And we were explaining it to them when we got back, and the guy opens up the hood of our jet ski and he's like, oh, it's flooded with water. Like, you're lucky that you came back because, oh, the water flooded into your engine and it would have sank. So then he tries to say, I'm so sorry that that happened, blah, blah. Would you like a complimentary jet ski ride tomorrow? And I was like, no, I'm not getting on that thing again. I'm not getting on that death trap. You're trying to strand me out in the middle of the ocean with a rape whistle. No. That was story number 2. And I'm trying to remember what came first. Actually, it was during the same trip. So we decided to go back to Florida for my 16th birthday. It had to be. It was for my 16th birthday. So we're out there. We're having a good time, and it's just my mom and my dad and I, and we're, you know, chilling, whatever. And later on, they decide to fly my boyfriend out to come see me for my birthday, but that there's a story before he came and a story like after he came. So the first one is when my dad was sitting on the sand, my mom and I were in the water, and my mom and I were just having a nice talk. The sun was going down, it was beautiful, you know, like, I already don't like really mess with the ocean, so I was only like up to my hips maybe, because I just didn't want to explore further than that. So we're out there, my mom and I are having a nice conversation, and I don't know what made me do this, but I decided to like turn a little bit while I was talking to my mom. There were literally like 6 stingrays around us. Oh my God, my heart went into my butt and I started freaking out, and I was like, nope, that's how Steve Irwin died. I'm not gonna do it today. It's not gonna be me. I start screaming, my mom is screaming, and I am running as fast as I can in water, which is like slow motion running, so it's not fast enough. As fast as I can to the shore, and I'm literally like running in the water like this, like screaming so loud because I don't want to die today. After my boyfriend got flown out for my birthday, he and I were kind of hanging out. I was already like, you know, stingrays tried to kill me. I'm not really a fan of the ocean right now. We should probably not go in. But he's like, come on, Christina, don't be a wimp. Let's go on the raft, blah, blah. So it's, you know, like those little, like you lay on them. They look like lawn chairs in like swimming pools. Like you can lay back on them. So I was scared about being in the water, so he says, okay, well, you can just lay on top of this and, you know, I'll just drag you around. And I was like, okay, it's not the end of the world, that's fine, because I'm not in the water. Little did I know that he decided to mess with me that day. I hope I can find the picture and insert it somewhere in here, because that's a traumatic photo. Anyway, so he decides to mess with me and starts going out, like, super far into the water, like to the point where his feet are no longer touching the ground, and I am thrashing in the water. I'm screaming because the ocean freaks me out, guys. Like, we know 7% of what's in the ocean, and the world is 70% water. Like, that's not cool, period. Like, no. I'm thrashing, I'm screaming, he's freaking out. He's not freaking out, he's like laughing so hard. Like, he's laughing obnoxiously hard at this point. And I am screaming, I'm trying to like rip his hair off of his head, and I'm like, take me back to the shore right now. And it was just a scene. And for some reason, my parents were taking photos at that time. So I have photos somewhere, and I hope that I can find it and they're not gone, of me screaming at him on this raft and like gripping on for dear life and like grabbing his head, because I'm like, I don't want to die today. The ocean and I do not get along. Get me off of this thing. Take me back. Let me see. What else is my other story? Well, I have one big one. This one makes me nauseous every time I tell the story. So when we went to Denmark 5 years ago, we decided to go visit other family members on an island called K-Kreations. And so like you have to drive, I guess, like into Sweden or something like that. I don't really remember, but you have to take like a ferry to this small island. And like this island is so small that it's literally like you can walk around it in like 20 minutes. Like, they can't have pets or anything, so it's like really secluded. So I have a friend that came with me to Denmark at that time, so we had to get on a bus, and the bus was cool because it was like a double-decker bus, and we sat at the top, like where the windshield was. It was really cool, and I was super stoked, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so fun. Like, not a lot of people get to do this, whatever. So we get off of this bus, and it's like kind of gloomy outside at that point, and I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. So they have us get on this ferry at this dock, and it's like really flat but like really wide, so it fits a lot of people, and there's like a cafe on the inside. I'm sure that people have been on ferries. I don't know why I'm describing it, but we had to get on this ferry, and it was fine because I was like, oh, it's big, it's spacious, it's whatever. I'm not gonna freak out, and I usually don't get seasick or anything like that. But we hop on this boat, and we're going out, and I kid you not, like, if this is the boat, the water is like thrashing around, so the boat is literally like this side's tipping into the water, and then this side tips into the water, and like water is coming up onto the window, and I'm over here gripping my chair as hard as I can, and I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm not telling anybody that I'm mentally freaking out in my own head, because everybody else is like, oh, this is great, I love the ocean. Oh yeah, I would rather go on a boat than fly. No. I would rather crash and burn in an airplane instantaneously than drown, because that's more painful and you're like alive for the whole thing. I'd rather just blow up. Anyways, we're on this boat and it's tipping like this, and I'm hating my life, and I'm not seasick, but I'm literally just like in a panic. I'm like, we're gonna die. This is the last time I'm gonna see anybody. We're not even gonna get to the island. We're all just gonna die on this boat. We get an announcement over the speaker, and they say it in like 3 different languages. Say it in like Danish, Swedish, and then in English. They say to us that the water is too rough and that we're gonna have to take a different boat. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm glad that they noticed the fact that like this boat is not gonna make it. Like, we're all gonna die on this boat. So I'm like thrilled about it. So for some reason, I don't know if we turned around or if we stopped somewhere else along the way, but they're having us all get off the boat, and they're saying that we're gonna have to get on a new boat, right? It's like this. It's like a fishing boat is what I call it, but my parents tell me that it's not a fishing boat, but I thought it was super small. It fit like 15 people at the most. So it's like really big and like curved like this. But the reason they have us go on this boat is because it rolls over the waves, which is like 10 times worse than rocking side to side in my opinion, but didn't have a choice. So we're waiting in line to get on this boat. And in my head, I'm already like, no, Christina, you're gonna die. Like, this is not good. But in that second, I see this girl, and she's like way younger than me. She's gotta be like 11 or 12. And her mom is dropping her at this boat because her grandparents or something live on the island that we're going to. And I was like, okay, Christina, if she can do it, You can do it. I'm watching her, and I think like her grandpa picked her up on the boat, like they were gonna go together. And I'm thinking the entire time we get on this boat, and it's like there's 3 tables with seating on both sides. So it's like a booth at a restaurant, but on a boat. So there's 3 on this side, there's 3 on that side, and then there's like a patio deck thing behind us. And you know, everything is good, everything's fine. It starts raining. Like it literally starts to rain so hard, and we are rolling over these waves like this, and I am like death gripping the table. Like, I kid you not, I'm death gripping the table. My friend is trying to convince herself that she's fine. She's saying, I'm not nauseous, I'm not this, I'm whatever. In my head, I'm thinking, you need to stay calm, because if this little girl can do it without crying, so can you, so you better toughen up. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. That's all I'm thinking. I'm maintaining eye contact with her, and instantaneously, like 15 people on this boat are like throwing up. Not like everywhere, but like they're running out onto the dock, like the back part of the boat, and they're like vomiting off the side of this boat. They're vomiting in bags, and like I'm a sympathy puker, so like if I see you throw up, like 9 times out of 10, I'll probably throw up right after you and like right next to you. I'm trying to keep my cool, and my mom is on one side with my friend, and my dad and I are on this side of the booth. My friend, you know, she's trying to convince herself that she's fine, but she's not. She turns like green, and my aunt has to say, okay, you need to just like lay flat on the bottom of the boat in order for you to not throw up. Like, if you don't want to be seasick, you got to just kind of like roll with the waves. So she's like, lay down and you'll be fine. So I'm like, awesome, 1 man down, we're good. I'm like, it's okay. This girl across from me has still got it. Like, she's tough. She's tougher than me. She's not crying. She's not freaking out, whatever. And in that moment, after 15 people have been throwing up, I look at this girl and she loses it. And all hope for surviving on this boat ride has just, it's gone. Like, I have no hope at this point. This little girl's crying. She's throwing up. Her grandpa is holding her, and I kid you not, I lost it. Like, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, if she knows she's dying and she does this a lot, I'm gonna die. Like, there's no coming back from this. I'm gripping this table as hard as I can, and I literally pass out. Like, I'm on my dad's shoulder. Like I'm passed out gripping this table. I was not okay. I was not okay. And I woke up when we got there after passing out. And I was like, I will not get on that boat again. I promise. I was like, you're gonna have to fight for life me off of this island, because I will not get back on that boat. Luckily, we were staying there for a couple days, but like the whole time I was there, like in my head, I was consciously thinking about the fact, like, I'm gonna have to get back on that boat. And I was like, I'm not doing it. You're gonna have to get a helicopter, and that person is going to have to pick me up and take me across, because I will not get on that boat again. The day before we're leaving, family that we were staying with was talking about, oh yeah, every time we go on that boat we throw up. Like, we just can't help it, we get seasick. And I was like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I don't get seasick. I don't throw up. I just panic, like pure panic. We get back on this boat, I'm already freaking out, and I'm like, okay, Christina, if you just chill, like, you'll be fine. And the weather was way better, so I wasn't as nervous. So we were back on that flat ferry because, you know, we weren't like life or death, like we're gonna drown, the boat's gonna tip over. You know, I order stuff from the cafe, and I'm trying to play it off like I'm cool. And these, you know, I'm eating like a cinnamon roll type thing, and, you know, I'm trying to make everybody think that, like, Christina's cool, she's got it, she's not gonna freak out or cry or anything. I end up eating the cinnamon roll, and I'm slowly dying on the inside because I'm starting to get nauseous, like really nauseous. And then I see a guy, like to the diagonal, like behind us, literally like this child throws up into the bag that he is holding, like loud vomiting noises that this child is making. I can't do it. Like, I'm like, I need to go stand outside or something, because there's people just casually bringing barf bags to the front. Like, where are they gonna put it? In the trash can? Like, so then I decided to go stand out on the edge of the boat, and then I was fine. So like after that, I never had to go on a boat again, and I was totally fine. I never had an issue with it. So that was the worst story that I've ever had that involved the ocean. That, I won't do it again. I will not get on a boat. If you ask me to go on a cruise, I won't do it. I hope to God that you found some sort of enjoyment from my terrible experiences with the ocean. Somehow everybody does find these like stories that I tell so funny, but I think that they're so traumatic. So like, you won't catch me dead in the ocean, I'll tell you that right now. If you ask me if I'm gonna go in the water in California, just save it, okay? I know like how many people on average watch these, and I'm hoping that the majority of them are people that I know from school and stuff like that, so don't ask me. I'll barely get in a swimming pool. I don't do water, period. Like, I'll take a shower and I'll hot tub, but that's pushing it for me, guys. Like, I don't do water and I don't do the ocean, so don't ask me. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. I will have plenty more traumatic moments in my life for story time, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna go and cry about it a little bit because now I'm having to remember everything horrible that's happened to me. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, of course, and I will see you guys next week.